Hey guys, what's up? I just wanted to share a little DIY project you guys can do at home regarding home gyms and whatnot and the limited equipment you may or may not have. But before I get into that, I just want to talk about common things that we usually do, and as far as human movement and human performance goes, is we typically push. Do push-ups, pushing a sled, pushing a car, shoving somebody. It's rare that we really get to pull, and even more so, it's more difficult to do pulling exercises while you guys are at home. I mean, you can definitely use your imagination. You can use a backpack, you can use a suitcase, jugs of water, etc., etc. But for the most part, using equipment like that kind of limits your ability on different angles of pulling and whatnot. So I'm sure everyone's familiar with the TRX bands. They're not cheap. It's in some people's budgets, sometimes it's not. So with just simple little things like a PVC pipe, some parachute cord, you can make something like this. Concept is very, very similar to a TRX band. I have two different pieces here where one loops around the PVC pipe. I'll show you guys how to use this in a little bit. And then the actual main piece, the actual strap, which attaches to the handles, I made it in two different loops so that this can slide back and forth, adjust length, and also to center it as well. It makes making these straps a lot easier, so that you don't have to necessarily worry about having each side equal length and whatnot. This allows you to adjust it on the fly depending on what you're doing. All right, without further ado, let's get started. It doesn't take that much skill or know-how to do this. Just if you know how to cut a PVC pipe using a saw, that's easy enough. Pocket knife and a lighter to cut your paracord, which, by the way, paracord is rated up to 550 pounds. So it might look intimidating with just kind of one thing supporting your weight. It should be okay. If you feel really insecure about it, you can double or triple it up, and that'll exponentially increase your weight capacity on the straps here. Other than that, some basic knots. I think I used 2 or 3 different knots, which I'll show you. The 2 to 3 knots that I used to make this, I actually learned when I was a zipline guide for zip lines at Pacific Crest. Actually, quick shout out to them. Ironically enough, I'm actually sporting their shirt. So they're based in Southern California, in a small town of Wrightwood, just about an hour 20 minutes outside of Los Angeles. So we're actually right next to Mountain High Ski Resort, I believe. If I'm wrong, I'll post it down in the description if I'm totally wrong. But anyway, go check them out. Go see Adam. Tell him I said what's up. My name is Jeff. And he'll take care of you guys. Awesome little hidden gem out there in Wrightwood, California. Anyway, shameless plug. All right, let's get to the build. This is pretty much just a scrap piece of PVC pipe. For the handles, I measured it against my fist, right, just outside here, just so it's nice and comfortable. I'm not grabbing onto the edge, nor do I have something oversized like this, which is overkill. Cut 2 of those out, 1 for each hand. Obviously, that's for the PVC pipe. As far as the straps, you got your paracord here. What I did was I took one end of it, I used my wingspan twice over. So I did that and measured another wingspan. So altogether, that comes out to, I don't know, I'm 5'10", so my wingspan is just about my height. So it's almost 12 feet, okay? 11 and a half feet, somewhere around there. Cut it using a pocket knife and then use a lighter, cinch the end so it doesn't fray and fall apart on you. So as far as knots are concerned, I don't remember the technical terms of it, but they're very useful. We did it as zipline guides, supporting whole body weight. So about a foot from one end, you create a loop just like this, okay? And then from here, you just tie a knot. So create another loop just like this. It goes behind like that. Wrap the first loop into the second loop you created, pull tight, and there's your loop right there. There's your eye. All right, you can pull it, make sure it's nice and secure and tight, and then from there you would string through your first handlebar, okay, and then into the eye. So pretend I got one in there already in here, and this is going to be your standard knot, okay, into the eye or into the hoop, bring it back down, tie a knot, make sure it's nice and tight. There you go. And you can imagine if your handle was in there, that's your grab piece right there. So it looks like that. So I made this loop for the connecting piece right here, so that when you pull on the handle, the knot doesn't slip and close in on your knuckles, if that makes any sense. So it's nice and secure right there. So you can grab it almost at any angle. The rope stays away from your fingers or your hands. And just repeat on the other side, and that's pretty much it. All right, so once you make your handle straps, I made another loop right here. This is probably about 14 inches long, folded in half, tied a couple knots. This piece right here you can use in two different ways. I'll show you what it looks like. You can hang this over the door, shut it, and this knot will catch on your door frame, and you're able to put load on this side as you lean back. Or what I chose to do is the extra PVC pipe. You can use a piece of wood, whatever you think that won't hurt or damage your door frame, is loop it over and insert it through, and you have this little clasp right here, and this is what you'll hang on the back side of your door, and this will catch and evenly distribute the weight as you lean back. So you have this piece right here. This loop is where you'll thread your handles through. Just like that. And that's gonna be your DIY TRX handles. All right, so let me go show you guys how to use it. All right guys, so this is how I use it, and I use it with a PVC pipe. Like I said, you can use it with just a knot without the pipe, but it's up to you. So just find a door, preferably you want the door to open away from you, so that when it's closed and you put load on your straps, you're actually also using the door frame to hold your weight as well, so you're not necessarily pulling the door open, if that makes any sense. So with that said, this is on. We're gonna open the door. You're gonna grab this piece right here, hang it over the door, close the door, and that pretty much secures your straps. And then from there, and this is what I was talking about, why I made it in two different pieces. You can change the different angles, but it self levels out, if that makes any sense. But anyway, from there, there's gonna be a little bit of pull, so put some tension in that. Make sure you're nice and even. Get nice and tight, and you guys can do your rows from here. You can get lower to make it harder, or step back to make it easier. So that's your DIY TRX bands, which probably cost me, I don't know, less than $1 with scraps. All right, thanks guys. Peace out.